I got a question, Killer.
Yeah.
This is my question.
Go for it.
We talked about the beef that you had to deal with in the rap game, and the hurdles. I was there for the West Coast beef where it was the Cowards in Compton song.
Oh, okay.
I was there for that, the Cowards in Compton, and then Dre them came back with their beef. But I want to go fast forward. We talk about what you and Snoop was able to do in the community when y'all was able to collab with the football and things. So just talk about how that beef ended and how it ended up now, because we're able to like look at that and y'all like collaborating in the community, and like that's like old news now. And it's it ended up being better for everybody in the long run.
Yeah, that's my dog, Snoop. I mean, it's crazy because just like you say, you know, the beef with me and Dre and
I remember that.
And Death Row and him doing a song.
And y'all ain't back down either.
Yeah.
We ain't back. Y'all the boys ain't back down from the crib now.
No, we ain't back down at all.
Then
we went to Jack the Rapper and we had to touch some people up. And after we touched them, we weren't on that song. You know, they were, you know, Suge was bullying everybody else in the business. Nah, wrong.
We ain't doing that.
You know, when we eventually ended up becoming friends after that, you know, after the touching up, you know, in Atlanta.
I'm standing on business down here now.
Yeah.
I keep telling South Beach ain't Miami. But I was gonna think, people see, we used to have a show called Miami Vice. Oh, when that come on, you see the flamingos and the palm trees and they dressed up in the nice suits and you got the women. Okay, that ain't Miami.
I thought you were Miami Vice when I first saw you at games.
That is not, you ain't think that, Killer. You ain't think that, Killer. You knew that well when we first met there in Billy's office. I wasn't Miami Vice.
I knew right away.
But yeah, talk that cleaned up, man. Y'all clean that shit up and then back down, and then y'all end up being boys. And now it's a collaboration between what they do in LA and what we do in Miami as far as football and bringing the kids and the youth together.
Exactly. I mean, it all of it, you know, it's crazy because.
Why did the beef start first, OG? I need that. Why did the beef start?
The beef started because, you know, I'm beefing with
everybody. I'm young. I know the songs, but I don't know the history of the beef.
Yeah, I'm beefing with everybody. I'm beefing with Method Man, Red Man, you name it.
Eric
B, Rakim. I'm beefing with all these. Run DMC, because again, we wasn't accepted.
Okay.
But, you know, at the same time, we did Cowards in Compton, Get Sprayed and Dade. You know, and
what it was, Killer.
You know,
that's what it
and
said.
then it was them, you know.
I mean, when you did that, you knew it was coming, though, right?
Oh yeah,
they made another song.
They made a song, you know, the Dre Day song, and then Snoop blew up off of that song. Yeah. And like I say, fast forward, me and Snoop ended up going to the studio doing songs, but then how the beef actually ended was, you know, I invited them down to Miami. It was the same time. It was 49ers versus Cincinnati Super Bowl game. Okay. I had a suite at the stadium, and I'm like, yo, come on. I'm like really trying to squash the whole East Coast, West Coast because Big is my friend, Pac is my friend. Now, we got this going on. I don't want it to keep escalating. They came down. That's why if you'll see this infamous picture of me and Snoop sitting in the suite. You'll see the Dolphins on the back of the wallpaper and all that. And we had this big old powwow, and I just used that moment to then bring in all the dudes from New York who had a problem with Suge Knight and Snoop and all them, just bringing them all. So we had this suite. We ain't see no football game. Yeah. We was up in there squashing it. And
that's dope, though.
2 minutes, we just knowing that this would end up in a shootout, you know, because they weren't searching nobody at that time. It was something serious in that.
Airline?
Now they had to upgrade it to Soul Plane then. Everybody had their own jets then.
That's wonderful.
So we ended up, like I said, we ended up squashing it. And, you know, me and Snoop eventually ended up doing a song.
So dope.
And the day we did the song in L.A. was the day Biggie died. Yeah. We sitting in the studio, man, all of us getting these texts that Big just got shot. And then he died, eventually died that day. God bless his soul. Damn. But, you know, we've been friends ever since. I mean, he asked me, how do you do this youth football thing? And, you know, I kind of gave him some pointers, and he started his own youth program.
He loves it,
and
too.
We played games against each other.
Yeah, we play games against them. So they bring their kids down. And
exactly. We go up there. And so, you know, it's like, you know, you start out talking about, you know, their city, and they started talking about our city. We come together, but we try to show that, you know, these are the ways you squash beefs. You know, you don't hold on to that.
Yeah.
You know, you bring communities together, and we was able to bring the kids at Compton come to Miami, and the kids in Miami go to Compton, you know, and all this love amongst kids that probably never would have been able to get on the plane and go that far.
I mean, I think that shows true leadership on your behalf and also on Snoop's behalf, because what I think real true leaders do is they bring people together. They don't separate, they don't divide. And I think, you know, even though you can say, hey, they play good football here, hey, we play good football here, and you can go back and forth, you brought it together.
Yeah,
it's
through sports.
We can say I'm better than you, and we can go back and forth and argue that shit all day.
Yep.
Hey, man.
Let's come together.
Let's come together. Yeah, any shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah, let's come together.
Whether it's politics, just come together.
Your story is freaking so dope. It's the Book of Luke. I wish. Do you have that on tape? Because I don't read.
Oh, yeah. It's audio book.
You right
my
about
voice.
that. I try to read for 5 minutes, I fall asleep.
I
can't my eyes.
So the Book of Luke, we gotta get it on tape.
No, it ain't just you.
Hey, we got the Book of Luke on tape.
It's like, read a book. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but
That's the.
so the book is the autobiography. It's straight down the line, start to finish.
It's actually my second one. The first one was as nasty as I want to be.
I might need to start with that one.
I'm gonna start.
I think I'm gonna start with that one.
I'm telling you though, your story, man, is unbelievable. This here today is.
I got more questions, Killer. I ain't done yet.
All right.
There go more. Trick, Pit, just the impact of developing and finding those sounds, because I knew Trick when he first started, he's dancer. Right. I knew Pitt when he first started. It was obviously a little more gangster rap, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to what he's doing now. But you saw the evolution from the beginning to where they are now. Just talk about that as well, because obviously you already had to fight for your life to be an artist. So imagine having to fight for somebody else or bring somebody else on. Like,
I mean, you know, the thing about it, you know, even the thing about it when you're doing hip hop from Miami, and there's no such thing as going looking A&R from a major label going to look for, you know, almost like a talent scout. They weren't coming here looking for no talent. So, you know, Pop, you know, Trick Daddy said, hey, my son coming out of jail.
Pops, that's Trick Daddy. Daddy, he also run the clubs too, by the way.
Yeah, you want to go get your freak on.
Yeah, Pops, yeah.
You go holler at Pops.
Yeah, you holler at Pops.
Hey, let me get that number real quick.
Yeah, holler at Pops.
Yeah, so he told me Trick was coming out of jail, and eventually he came out. Then he ended up staying with me, you know, when he got out. So we stayed at the Grand Condominiums. That's when I had some people in my house, some squatters I was putting out. So we were sitting up in there. Yeah, they changed the law, thank God. And so we, you know, he had this whole book. He just got out of jail, man, I'm a rapper. And I'm like, oh.
So you were writing while he was in there?
Yeah, he was writing while he was in jail. And I was like, okay, another rapper. All right, good. All right. You know, and so I was like, okay, I'll put you on a song if you win this contest at the Pac Jam on 84th. So we got this big ass
Pac Jam. Shout out Pac Jam.
Yeah, and that so he eventually won the contest. Same thing with Pitt. You know, I looked at it like, you know, it was Fat Joe and Big Pun doing big things. You know, New York, these Hispanic rappers, and I was like, my company won't be complete. You know, if I don't
especially
have
down here in Miami.
Cuban rapper.
Yeah,
so I went on this crusade looking for a Cuban rapper.
Yeah.
You know, who battling? So they gave me this battle tape of him, you know, and I'm looking at this like, you know, I got to take this dude and produce him. You know, battle rappers is almost like, I don't know the difference between street ball and organized ball.
Yeah, I
you
get
know,
it.
Sounds like a good.
That's a good analogy.
That's a
I
pretty
get
good
that. That's a good analogy.
I gotta clean this dude up for you know, mainstream music. And so we ended up, you know, I ended up discovering Pitt, you know, cleaning up Trick, you know, so bringing Pitt in. Now Pitt hardcore. Both of these street, you know. But I already had my, you know, you know, I was a street dude myself, so I can relate to these. And then I had JT Money, who was
the bitch eyes. Yes, sir.
So I had my time with damn JT Money, you know, because you gotta get these dudes to be like, yo, you gotta leave that alone out there. So
you had to clean him and get him out that street first.
All these Trick, Trick. I'm like, man, that nigga, I'm ready to go kill it, man. I can't be living like this here, man. No, you going back to jail. Man, I got to go take some from one of these motherfuckers. I'm like, hold on, calm down. Do you hear your voice? Go in the shower and listen to yourself. You got a unique voice. Same thing with Pitt. You got these cornrows.
That voice.
Yeah, that's most of my guys all have a unique voice.
Fun fact, he put me on Trick when I got down to I got to Florida.
Oh, okay.
When I got
you got your mind
when I
right.
got to Florida, I was like, oh, I was hooked on Trick. I love Trick.
Yeah, that man. So then I got Pitbull. This in the streets, he got cornrows down his
That's
head.
crazy.
It's the 305.
That's crazy to
he
think
got
about.
pants sagging like, yo, man, you know.
And to see
Opalaka.
Pitt now.
Taylor
That suit don't even make sense,
Taylor
bro.
suits, clean cut.
That don't even make no
cut.
sense.
Yes, man.
And that's why people be thinking that they like, oh, that's the rap. I'm like, you don't want to.
No.
That is the best rapper I've ever
first
heard
started, it was-
in my life.
Yes.
The best battle rapper. He would undress your ass. I'd be like, don't let the clean face.
Yeah, bro. When he
He
first
is
started, it
dangerous.
was straight gangster.
He
Like
dangerous.
that shit was spitting. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he got into what he had to get into and what he's into now, and I love the way he's able to do both.
Yep,
Because he's
yep.
able to straddle the line, and both. A lot of rappers can't do both.
I'm just telling you
He's
right now,
able to do both.
if you introduce someone to Pitt right now and you said that version of Pitt, they'd be like, you lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I every now and then, it's Thursday today, I'm gonna probably post a picture of him with his cornrows and standing by pit bulls and all that.
That's
'Cause
hilarious.
that's all he ran around with, pit bulls and you know, he out in Opalaka
Call him
trapping.
Chico. He's like,
You
call him
know?
Chico.
Yeah, exactly.
Real live, man. I love these
Yeah.
stories, man, and I love you taking the time to tell these stories. And obviously, there's just so many layers to you, and I wanted to cover all those layers. It's one thing to talk about what you did for hip hop, but it's a whole nother thing to talk about what you did for the community, what you do in politics, and obviously what you did for me individually. You know what I'm saying? You set the standard. You've been a legend. You've kept it real. There's not been one time that I reached out to you where I had a question or anything, and you responded right away. So I appreciate you taking that time, OG, and I appreciate
doubt.
everything you did.
Even though I'm not from Miami, you did stuff for me too. That shirt right there did a lot for me, Coach.
It got your mind
It
right.
got my
Yes,
mind
sir.
right. Now you know we only mess with the realest here on the OGs podcast. And when it comes to gin, the old G is no different. It's not the OG, it's the old G. It's not just smooth and bold. It's black owned and crafted with the same authenticity and excellence we celebrate on this very show. The gin goes down easy with no burn, no bite, and no bitter taste. Just real, authentic flavor. Distilled 9 times, the Old G delivers the smoothest experience, whether you're just sipping it neat, it's on the rocks, or with a simple mixer. This gin does not need anything extra. So whether you're kicking it back after a long day or celebrating those wins, the Old G is the drink that brings people together. Just like the stories we share right here on the OGs, it's more than a gin. It represents community, culture, and the OGs who've paved the way. Go grab yourself a bottle, sit back, and toast it to the OGs in your life. And as always, drink responsible. The Old G Gin. Pour one out.
Basketball fans, it's win or go home time. The NBA Conference Championships are here and the intensity is off the charts. Every possession matters, and there's still time to get in on the action with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. Here's the deal. New customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll score $300 in bonus bets. That's right. Pick your side, place your bet, and get ready to cash in. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up using code OGs. The crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your $300 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. If sports betting is not available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code OGs and bet just $5 on any wager and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's promo code OGs only at DraftKings Sportsbook.